I need to present our speaker this week, our entrepreneur that is up here. His name is TJ, and he's with TJM, with Teen Job Match. He'd like to share his ideas and his passion about putting teens to work. And here you go, TJ. Thank you very much. And you found my coffee.
Yeah. All right, hello everybody. My name is Timothy James McClurg. I do go by TJ. I am the founder of Teen Job Match. Very excited to be presenting in front of you all today. But sadly, by the time we're done with our little 26-minute conversation, an alarming number of teens will have stopped their job search because of the pains associated with the job search itself. So what we're going to do is, first I'm going to introduce you to my team, because nobody can do this stuff alone. So again, my name is TJ McClurg. I am the founder. I am a disabled veteran, actually, and I am using my GI Bill to go back to school. So I'm at Chico State, and I'm basically trying to create a business that will help teenagers out and improve their quality of life. So I have Frank. Frank is a software engineer. He just graduated from Chico State. Actually, he was part of a project a couple instructors at Chico State put together. This project where students from one class can go pitch to another class, and in this case, I was in business and I went and I pitched to a software engineer class, and I gained 5 engineers out of that class like my idea. So he was part of those 5 from last semester, and he actually stuck around, and he's a paid employee. I actually paid him now, and he works on the project when he can. So we went back again, and we pitched again this semester. I got 5 more software engineers, so there's their names there. And I was actually pretty excited because Samuel at the end, just expressed that after the semester he wants to stick around. So I get the exciting task of figuring out how to pay another employee. All right, so we've assembled this amazing team. What are we doing as a team? So here's a fancy way to say what we do, but really we're like LinkedIn, but for teens. So teenagers are going to go on, they're going to create a profile with an image, maybe a little audio bite, put a resume up there, and hopefully connect with local entrepreneurs. So keyword there's local, keep them all right here to get their hopefully their first job, and that's what we're doing. We're helping them get their first job. We're helping them find internships. We're helping them find local volunteer work, summer jobs, stuff like that. That hurdle, the hump to get over into the first job is pretty hard. We're going to hopefully break down the barriers to that. All right, so here's the problem, the pains associated with it. So of course there's time. When teenagers go out, they have a limited amount of time in a day where they got to go out and go door to door. So the time constraints kind of, it makes it hard for them. And then of course when they're met with, with the negative feedback, which is another problem in there, the big no. So my daughter, when she was 16, going out door to door, it was always no, sorry, come back when you're 18. Very negative. She didn't want to go out the next day. So pretty big problem there. Then there's the age, of course, that was in there. She was 16. Everybody wanted her to be 18. Transportation was a problem. She didn't have a car at the time. She had her bike, so riding around town, and that kind of takes you back to the time issue. If you're on your bike, you're kind of limited where you can go in that amount of time. And then, of course, there's the big problem of safety. They're going door to door, knocking on doors. I got my 16-year-old daughter out there. I don't know what door she's knocking on. I don't know who she's talking to. So that's a pretty big concern for parents there. So those are the problems and the pains associated with it. So here's the solutions that Teen Job Match is hopefully going to solve. So the time issue. It doesn't take very long to create a resume on our website. We've already got that up and going. The age thing, what we've done, a little secret sauce there for us, is that we actually connect them with with businesses, local businesses that hire their age. So you have a team that goes on there, and when they're filling out the resume, they say, I'm 16, da-da-da-da. And then at the end, when they're done building the resume, and we've talked to all the employers, they state what ages they hire and up. So if they say they hire 16 and up, at the end we say, congratulations, there are 20 businesses in Chico that will hire you. Here they are, go drop off your resume. Transportation, again, they can do it off their phone, they can do it at their home PC, so we took care of that. The negative feedback, took care of that because we have a warm market now. We've already gone out and talked to these businesses, so they know who's coming. And then the safety side, again, they know who they're talking to, they know names, they know the businesses. On the site, they can decide to make their resume public or private. If they want to make it public, businesses can go on there and search them. or they can keep them private, print them out, and turn them in as they see fit. So how are we making money? It's free for the users, the teens, and the employers. What we're going to do is we're going to sell ad space to local businesses. So what we're going to do is it's called geo ads, so that way businesses or teens in Sacramento aren't seeing ads from up here in Chico, and vice versa. In the future, we are looking at possibly doing some food handler card training. We're just looking into that. Not sure if there's going to be fees associated for the teens on that side. It would be nice if there isn't, but again, that's another source of revenue. Here's a positioning map. We see Teen Job Match as the most teen friendly, and actually they get the most competition insight. Another part of our secret sauce is that a teenager can go on our site, use filters, basically say, I want to see all 16-year-old females in Chico. That'll show them all the resumes of 16-year-old females in Chico, minus the personal information. We'll always keep them safety in mind. But at least now they know what their competition looks like. Do they need to step up their game? Maybe they should look at our volunteer side of our website and get out there and get some more skills. The other ones in here, kind of where we feel that they land. Craigslist is it's getting close to the competition side because you can go on there and see who else is posted on there, but not so teen friendly there. And then we have the now hiring. That's the signs that go up, so they're our competition. And then the word of mouth. And then Indeed is in there. They are a little teen friendly, but they tend to, give you a welding job in San Francisco. So the benchmark's kind of where we're at now. We do have a website up. I created it through Chico State to keep our expenses down. It is in a beta stage, so if you go on there and you see some weirdness, just know we are beta. The resume builder was created last semester. It is in a beta stage right now. We're still tweaking on it a little bit. The employer job post is being built right now. They're looking to finish that up. We're doing a presentation at Chico State next Wednesday. And when they're done with that project, I'm hoping that Sam and Frank can finish that up and get that cleaned up. We are starting to engage some of the local employers, start to talk a little bit. We haven't really gone crazy with it because when I go out and start going door to door, I want to make sure that I have a decent working prototype of their side of the business, their login, and how to create a job post. So I don't want to go there with something that's a little sloppy. And then we are looking to launch in April 2018. We are looking like we're on track there. So those are our benchmarks. Scalability, we are scalable. So right now we're doing Teen Job Match. After this proves to be fruitful, we're going to go for Job Match, and then we'll go to Senior Job Match. So this way we'll follow our applicants all the way through their job life cycle. So some of our marketing objectives, we're looking to build our brand awareness in Chico. Chico is a very supportive town for new businesses, so we're starting here. We're going to do the Thursday night market. I look to hire some teens and actually train them there to get them some skills that they can put on their resumes. And then I'm also going to go to the high schools and talk to the counselors. We're also looking into working with the PTA groups, the booster clubs. My target market, of course, was the teens, so I'm trying to do everything with the high schools and get in with them real good and get our name out there. So we have our call to action. So today what I would like out of this is hopefully I get some contacts out of this. I'm looking for employers that employ teenagers. I'm looking for businesses that would be interested in putting an ad on our website. And then also I would like everybody here, since you're all very supportive, to like and follow us on Facebook. There are some cards on your desk. If you have a QR scanner, give it a shot. If not, you can go to Facebook and find us there. But so that's it, and thank you.
All right, so now we're going to open it up for 20 minutes of Q&A. So if you have any questions about what he's doing, where he wants to go, anything about it, give him a shot, see what he's got.
So you mentioned that you're getting ready to go out and talk to business owners. Have you done the due diligence in surveying them? So even though I realize that you're not ready to show them the website and show them how everything works, but have you talked to some owners to see if they'd even be interested in this?
I have. In one of my classes, actually, when I built the website, part of the class was you had to call 30 businesses in Chico as part of my project since I was going to sell ads to businesses. So I called 30 businesses in Chico. You had 10 questions, only a couple minutes to talk to them. They showed interest. There was no yes answers. Will you use it? Because I didn't have anything to show in front of them. They didn't know what it looked like. They didn't know how they could transition through it. So I have talked to them. There is interest. The biggest answer, one of the questions was, who are you currently using and are you happy? And everybody's answer was Craigslist. And they're not happy. That's just where they go to hire a hot body with hands is what they call it. So, and they're spending all this time on there and they're still not getting quality employees out of it. So I have done a little bit of due diligence. One of the tools I've been using too is actually some of my competition. Like Indeed is very handy. I'll go on there and type in a little resume, say I'm 16, looking for work around here, and they'll actually give me a list of some of the employers like KFC and Papa John's, some of the places that I'll hire at. So I have a little list of employers that I'll start with.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Yes.
Have you explored?
Yeah.
Have you explored local nonprofits and other organizations that you might partner with, like Youth for Change, the Drop-In Center, AFWD? Just look around. I don't know what that would look like, but I'm just curious if you've taken a look at anything other than employers.
I do. Yes, I have. I have started a list, but I think this would be very valuable to bring in some of the nonprofits, because I think that we have such a high amount of teens that they're not all going to get employed right out of the gate. So they're going to need to go out and volunteer a little bit. So I do have a couple of emails out. I haven't gotten responses back, so I'm assuming they went to their junk mail. So I'm going to go knock on their doors pretty soon. But I'm assuming places, like the animal shelter or something, teens wouldn't mind doing, helping out animals, stuff like that. So that is going to be a big side of it. There is going to be a big side of the volunteer stuff. So yes. Yes.
So how do you deal with security for teens? Because, how do you deal with security for teens?
So security, safety is very important to us. So that's why we put the private and the public button in there for their resumes. Anytime someone will go in and filter and search other people's resumes, which that side's not up yet, that is a future thing, it will not show any of their personal information. So those are the first safety steps that we're taking.
It would show them their age and name.
I'm sorry?
It shows them the age and full name, like first and last name.
They won't get to see other applicants' information, not that. But like say like a business owner goes in, if someone makes their resume public, they will get to see their name and their age and all that. Yeah, when I talked to the 30 businesses in Chico, their top things they look for in resumes, the top one was age. And they had to go to the bottom and figure out when did they graduate, from what school, and do some math. So we put that at the top of our resume and made it just totally obvious. Dakota McClure, 16. I mean, it's pretty cut and dry at the top. And then we put some other stuff. Put stuff in order a little bit on the resume. And then later on, they'll be able to filter and change the resumes how they view them. They'll be able to do a customized thing. So if hours or availability is important to them, they'll be able to move that to the top and maybe delete everything else. If they only want to see age and availability, so they'll be able to do some stuff like that. Yeah.
So on the security note, is there a legality on age of hiring that you will have parameters for? Like, so can my 13-year-old go on there, put a resume on there?
Yeah,
And
it'll
then,
be.
I mean, are you going to put some parameters out there? And then can you disclose age? That was my other question. In California, can you disclose
I
age?
haven't found anything yet that says you can't disclose an age. The legality of the age, I think, is always just going to be a state mandated thing, like, because I know it changes in different states, different, I guess, counties on how old you have to be to get a work permit. So that's what's going to go off of. Are you old enough to get a permit? Then you're old enough to use this site. So,
And then some other places we mentioned nonprofits,
Card.
where you're ranked another good employer that may hire teens as well.
Okay.
I just want to make sure we get so you're recording, yeah.
Kind of a follow-on to Sam's security question as well. With respect to scheduling, are there any plans for like a scheduling feature so that you know that applicant is checked in at X business for him on X time, and both kind of validate that it happened, and that's sort of just to protect the
What was the other part there? I'm sorry.
Kind of like Uber or something. You know that applicant's checked in for an interview, checked out.
Oh, if the applicants are checking in and checking out?
Yeah, if that's kind of a feature in kind of 2.0 or something where you can kind of.
If the two of them agreed to meet and do an interview.
Oh.
Then the employer.
I haven't thought of that yet. That's actually
as
good.
well. So
The only check-in thing we thought of is to have, is we were trying to think of a way to get teams to come back to the site. It's really with again, how we're making revenues, we're selling that ad space. So of course we need people to come to the site and view those ads. So we were thinking of a way to get them back, and we we're going to do a check-in. Because I had a friend's daughter that had to go back to a local pizza place and check in, and they told her that basically whoever's got the most check-ins kind of gets looked at first. So we're going to do a check-in thing, and then whoever's got the most check-ins kind of moves to the top of the list. We haven't done anything yet as far as putting the connection together as far as applicant and employer have agreed to meet or anything like that. Not sure if I answered your question all the way, but as far as check-ins, that's all we've thought of so far is having the applicant check in.
I was just thinking if you're a parent, it kind of mitigates some of the concern or risk if you know somebody's got a rating for safety or rating for responsiveness, and you can see a dot on the website. Oh, they've got my child is going for an interview at 5 p.m. That interview happened, so I should expect them home by 6 or something like that.
Yeah, so we had not thought of that. That's a great idea. Now I'm very happy I came here today to present. So we'll play with that idea. We do have a spot on the website for parents, and we do kind of asking parents to be involved, and we put some comments on there what to look for. Is your teen starting to have problems in school? What are their hours? Maybe they should pull back. Or is your teen not having a good time in their job? Help them. In some way request less work or even quit. And that's the other part of our site is we have helpful letters, actual cover letters, and we have thank you letters, and we have a resignation letter. My daughter came to me and she's like, I want to quit my job. I'm just going to not show up today. I was like, you can't do that. You can't burn those bridges. So we wrote a letter. So, and you can find this stuff out there on Google. It's just going to take a long time. So I'm just trying to get it all together and clean it up and present it well for the teens to understand. Yes?
Excuse me.
Sorry.
It would also, I think, be really helpful if there were tips on interview techniques, and also maybe if there was feedback after an interview so teens could learn how they can improve their interviewing skills.
Maybe the employer could leave a note somehow for them.
That would be very helpful.
That would be helpful. We do have a few little tips on there, but I think we were more on the safety side, like don't meet at a hotel, some of this obvious stuff. There are some tips, but I like the feedback thing because after the interview, I like that. Help them improve.
It'd be good to know why they said no, for example.
Yeah, I like that.
I just want to clarify, so the goal is not to at any point have job postings on there, connecting them with resumes.
So the teens on the left side create a resume, the employers create a job post.
And they just click to apply?
Yeah.
And make it that simple?
Yeah.
Wow.
So the team can go in, and if something's public on the job side, it'll be something simple as, yes, I want to apply, the resume goes over, the employer gets an email or a text or something, we're not there 100% yet, but, and then they go in and look at them.
So they're checking in, these kids are checking in every day to see what's posted, basically.
Yeah, our goal is to get these people to come in every day to see the ads. So we thought about, it'd be cool if everybody was getting these text messages, you just got a job offer. We don't want that because then they're not going to come back to the site unless they get a text. So we want them to come back every day, get our numbers up. It's called selling eyeballs. We're selling eyeballs. I want to be able to go to a local business, pizza shop, and go, I've got 5,000 eyeballs in Chico on my site. They're all teens. You sell X product to teens. Do you want to get in front of them type deal? Yes.
Hi. Well, this is more what he was saying about the local nonprofits, and I think working with the high schools is a great idea. I have a 13-year-old. I think even starting in junior high, just with some kind of talks, what we're really talking about, even with safety, it's yeah, okay, you can see if your kid checked in somewhere at 5 o'clock, but the goal is to really know where your kid is at 5 o'clock. So your kid tells you, I think now more than ever, we just really have to advocate for teens. And yeah, going to a junior high and, you know, introducing your company and saying, and also taking the girls aside, separating the groups and being like, the girls, the safety is a bigger issue for young girls. They need to for sure know interview etiquette and all of that. I mean, boys need to know it too, but I think really, not just for your company, but all of us as a community, like how can we advocate for the teens, and how can your company kind of increase that in our community, because we're like, teenagers need that so much right now. And I think, and teenagers want to work. That's the thing too. And so really, like, I just feel inspired now with a teenager to really call on my community. And if this, like, that's why I came here today. It was like, how can I help my community support the teenagers to work? Because they are so bored. And then a lot of people don't want to hire teenagers. I mean, of course. But when I was a kid, I lived somewhere you could just walk in and say, can I work here? And they were like, yes. And that wasn't even that long ago. So anyways, I think advocacy is important, starting with junior high, even because those kids are still so like wide-eyed and eager a lot of times. And yeah, however I can help as a community member, I'd be really interested.
I'll have to research that and see if if they have anything at the high schools as far as prepping like that.
Yeah.
But yes, no, that is the way we're going. That's the way we want. When people say teen job match, we want them to think of us as a safe business, a caring business, a community business. That's the route we want to go. And that's what we like about it. And that's why, you know, they say if you're going to start a business, be passionate about it. I am passionate about it. I like working with teens at my full-time job. I train the teens at my full-time job at their summer job. So I enjoy the work, you know, and that's the way we're going to go. But yes, great idea. I will look into that and see if I can talk to them a little bit earlier. Yes.
So piggybacking off of the safety issue and connecting with the local nonprofits that already have youth employment programs, I think targeting those, like she said, is going to be your key, because there's specific funding for that, and making sure that you have, from the safety aspect, the advisors. One of their problem areas that you saw for teens was transportation, and advisors that are already working with that population or in connecting with those teens, both at the high school level, coming out of juvenile hall, and all of those different resources. The transportation part of it is there. And connecting the employers to actually advertise those jobs for those teens, you really need to find out who those organizations are and what their funding is and how they could actually support that and bring the businesses to you.
I agree. And that's why I was very happy to hear from Wendy about this opportunity to present and network, and that's what I'm hoping to do is find out who out there can help me and has funding to do this kind of stuff. And yes.
So I have a question about like the hurdles of companies that are already establishing like a human resources way of application. So like, oh, you have to go on the website to do that, but what about the connection between your website and their website? Like, do you have to make some certain like API that integrates into their website if they're like, oh, we have to go through our website to apply? Do you know what I'm saying?
Decide where they want go to my website and fill out my application.
Yeah.
That is a problem that we have not tackled yet. Because that is one of the major complaints, is that, yeah, you can go on and create a resume and put it up, but they usually send you to fill out some more paperwork. So one of the ideas we shot around was, do we get these businesses that come in to agree to have some standardized form that's our form that they will accept? That's like the easiest. But again, I won't know until I start going out and actually talking to these businesses and hopefully starting a relationship and opening up those doors.
I think you have to do maybe like a push request type of thing. Like, I don't know exactly how you code that, but I'm sure if you just figure out how to like push something through it, and then they can just pull it into their database.
Okay.
And then it's just a seamless type of experience.
Just flips the information out of ours and right into theirs.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Then it'll pre-populate their website.
From
and
the
then
auto-fill thing.
So just a couple comments. So one on that, when you're talking about kids under 18 or teens under 18, usually it's the larger companies that need that, and so a lot of those aren't really hiring kids under 18. So, you know, I think if you're really looking to hook up local teens with local businesses, that may not be a need right away. So keep that in mind. Another thing is in trying to get eyeballs on the site and dealing with the security is making a lot of the communication go through your site or through your app so that the business owner communicates to the teen through there, the teen back to the business owner. That keeps both of them coming back to the site, gives you the opportunity to have the eyeballs returning back to your site. Otherwise, if you just give them phone numbers and they communicate offline, then you've lost them as your audience. And some things to deal with that. And then the other thing, in going through the site and looking at doing sign up, one of the things that I noticed you don't have is social media sign up. Teens don't necessarily have emails and do stuff. They'll have their Instagram account and they had an email that they use to sign up for it, but they don't know what their email is anymore. So I think you really need to integrate social media sign on for the app itself.
That was one of the ideas from the software engineers from Michigan.
Yeah. That's my 3 cents. I only had 2 cents, then I had 3 cents.
You're next.
I think that it sounds like pushing the conversation about getting the safety features and some of the follow-up on interviews or things like that would drive parents more to your site as well, which also increases your number of eyeballs viewing the site. Because if you just have the teens on the site, that's one person in a family or maybe two. But if you have both parents, then potentially looking at the site to see what is my teen up to, where are they applying, what is their status, then you get 2 more people per user that are interested in using your site.
We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, okay?
So just my question is not about safety or anything, but once you get established here in Chico, do you have a plan for reaching other markets? I mean, like Indeed and Craigslist, those are nationwide companies, but how do you get to, say you want to go to Sacramento, you're going to go knock door to door, or?
Well, one of the ideas is actually, I was just talking to Wendy earlier, is how do I move to the other towns that are doing this exact event right here? How do I get down to Sacramento and talk to that caring group of individuals like all of you, the local supporters? So I'm open for some travel around here to get started, and then eventually, hopefully, we'll get a brand name and branch out. But I'd like to do something like this, move around a little bit.
Yeah.
But as far as targeting, I'll be targeting cities and towns that have high teen population, a lot of high school students, stuff like that. So.
Just one of the ideas I had, you're talking about getting experience for teenagers and high school students. You could even use them to help promote your brand. Basically give them a volunteer opportunity where they can actually go out and talk to local businesses, and that's going to help get the teens on there because they're going to talk to their friends, and then they're going to talk to their favorite businesses, and then the businesses are going to see, oh, we have more teens coming on that are interested in work. I think that would just naturally help solve your reach to businesses, reach to teens, and it would help get the students more experience also.
So the ambassadors, make them an ambassador.
Yeah, but like a high school ambassador.
Okay.
So you can even do that just through like counselors at the high schools. So it's kind of getting all your birds with one stone there.
Yeah.
So.
I like that.
Who's next?
Yeah, just going back to the nonprofit issue, because I think I was unclear, and it was kind of brought up. So imagine you're a teen with some barriers in life, and you've got a caseworker somewhere. That person is maybe taking the place of what your parent would normally be doing for you, or not normally, but in other circumstances, what your parent would be doing for you. I was wondering about, in that sense, reach out to nonprofits like Youth for Change. I think Northern Valley Catholic Social Services has a youth program. The county, things like that. You've got an opportunity to make your brand part of the packet of resources that a caseworker somewhere offers a kid.
Perfect. Yeah.
And in return, they can be a resource to you possibly, in that they've got a client pool for you, they've got a customer base. So I was wondering if you had considered any of that. Not placing like card, things like that, those are great ideas. But using the resources that are already available, that are already practiced at keeping kids safe and putting them in the right direction, making yourself available as a resource.
I hadn't thought about that until 2 weeks ago when we had our first presentation, and I think it was you I talked to, right? The last one. So yeah, I hadn't thought about it until you gave me your card, and that definitely does open up those other doors. So yes, I am thinking about it.
One more question. maybe 2.
This is fun. You guys have great ideas. A resource that I kind of think about is B County Association of Governments, because they would kind of have a twofold thing. What they would do would help you with transportation, because the bus routes are run by BCAG. They have great security because all the buses have cameras on them. The downtown transit center has cameras. They have that. They have a great website that you could link to to help people with transportation. Plus, most of the businesses that are hiring teens are on those routes. The fast food type industry that can use front counter help and that type of business, those are all going to be there. So, secondly, as an employer, I'm a small business owner here in Chico, and I get probably 100 resumes a week on my desk. And most of them are just unqualified, because I'm looking for 2 types of people typically. And the type of person that I need for one of my job positions isn't the type of person that is going to go door to door and be, knocking on my door all the time. They're going to be the type of pretty timid. I find that graphic designers are more quiet, timid type people, and so they have a hard time finding work because they don't go out there and do that. They're just willing to take whatever will come their way. So I, as a business owner, I'm looking for a way for me to find specific niches of employees. And people that be more attracted to what you have would be someone that could sit at home and plug in everything that they're happy, like an artistic type person that is not really maybe all that outgoing, that's more of an introvert, but is a great artistic graphic designer, is not going to be knocking on doors and checking in at once a week or once a day or whatever. So just some input on that. So from both sides.
Just keep their resumes private, and they're going to come to the site whenever and just go, okay, is anybody looking for a graphic designer today? So that's why we do the private and public, because we understand some people are not door-to-door people.
And I find that most artistic type people don't consider themselves a graphic designer until they realize what graphic design actually is.
So, and then, some parents are not going to want their young teens to put their information out there public, so they're going to keep them private, and they will print out the resume and they will hand it out to pre-selected businesses, and that's fine. And then on the bottom of the resume it has our logo, and then it has our website, so the business will find out about us that way, hopefully. Eventually, we'd like to put a little QR code on the bottom of the resume. It says "See More." So once they read the resume, if they like what they've read so far, they can click on that QR code, and it'll take them to the applicant's resume on our site, which will have an image and an audio bite, and then maybe some artwork. If they're artists, they'll have a section to put some of the stuff they like. So that's another area we hope to get into.
All right. That was 20 minutes. That goes by fast.
Thank you, everybody.
And I was just talking to my daughter last night at the kitchen counter about how she is just tired of filling out job applications. And she's on her phone, she's on her pad, she's filling it out. And she says everyone has to go through and fill out the same information over and over again. She goes like, I'm just so frustrated with it, it sucks. And I'm like, welcome to the real world. So just have to be patient and keep putting it out there. And she goes, well, no one ever gets back. I don't even know if they got my resume. I don't even know what's going on. So, and she does have limited time. So this is awesome if she could go somewhere, sign up for it, put stuff in, and then have the resources. Because she had 50 questions for me. Like, what do I put for a resume? I mean, for a referral, and what does that mean? And are they going to call him? I go, I don't know. I said, you should call Uncle Matt and tell him you might get a call. I don't know. So
that's your other revenue stream, is the parents. The parents will pay.
I will pay, yeah.
For training for all that stuff.
I'll find this place and then send the link to my daughter's phone and say, here, sign up for this. It's going to help you. It's going to answer your questions. Let me know how it works. So thank you, TJ. I really appreciate it. So we're going to be here next week, next Wednesday, the same place, same time, 9 o'clock, and we're going to be with CloudCoin, and they're doing cryptocurrency for Xe, sounded like. So it'll be a really interesting topic. I'm excited.
And it's not the blockchain model, so it's a different model, so it's interesting.
It'd be interesting to hear. So there's a few things that I want to say is that please make sure if you first time here is sign in so you can get on the mailing list with Wendy. She has a laptop, you can fill in your information. There also is a 1 Million Cup app where you can see who the speaker is, you can put your comments on there, you can apply to be a speaker. You can just go to 1 Million Cups and download. It's actually Google Play or the iPhone store. Make sure to like us on Facebook and share with local friends. Bring somebody next time. And I want to say thank you to our host, Idea Fab Labs every week, and 6 Degrees Coffee, and the local. Easy.
It's channel 11 on your Comcast box.
Are you going to be airing this then?
Is this stuff for airing? I actually don't know. I'm just here shooting. I'm a lemming today. I couldn't tell you if they're actually going to air it or not. I think it's going to be on social media.
Yeah, once we get some content together and we have more of a steady base of content to push, they might start showing it. But it is available on YouTube, and we have it on Facebook, and you can share it as much as you want.
The video will be up on Facebook probably within 24 hours or so. Yeah.
And it's awesome. So thank you everyone for your time and your patience. We hope to see you again. Thank you very much, and have a great week.